In recent years, the rise of populism has disrupted the political foundations of Western democracies. Once seen as fringe, figures like Donald Trump, Viktor Orban, Geert Wilders, Marine Le Pen, and Giorgia Meloni have risen to power, challenging the liberal values that seemed firmly established since the mid-20th century. But how did we arrive at this moment of upheaval? In previous episodes, we touched upon globalization and rentier capitalism as sources for the current discontent. In this episode of Essentials, we will take a level deeper as we delve into the insights from the 2017 influential article Trump and the Populist Authoritarian Parties, The Silent Revolution in Reverse by Ronald Inglehart and Pippa Norris, to uncover the forces behind this profound political shift. Ronald Inglehart and Pippa Norris are two of the most respected political scientists of our time. Inglehart, known for his groundbreaking work on cultural change and value shifts, has been a key figure in understanding how societies evolve. His theory of post-materialism, where societies prioritize self-expression and quality of life over material needs, has shaped decades of research. Pippa Norris, on the other hand, is renowned for her extensive work on democracy, public opinion, and political communication. Together, they offer a unique and powerful lens through which to view the rise of populism. To grasp the rise of populist movements, we must first revisit the silent revolution that swept through Western societies in the 1960s and 70s. This period, as identified by Inglehart, was marked by a profound shift in values. After the recovery of World War II, economic prosperity, rising levels of education, and a sense of security led to a widespread embrace of progressive ideals. Civil rights, gender equality, and environmentalism became the new norms. But this silent revolution wasn't just about social change. It represented a deep transformation in what people valued. As more citizens moved beyond concerns of basic survival, they began to prioritize self-expression, tolerance, and diversity. These new values became the bedrock of Western liberal democracies. However, in their article, Inglehart and Norris argue that this revolution has sparked an equally significant backlash, a silent revolution in reverse. As economic conditions changed and cultural tensions grew, the liberal consensus that once seemed unassailable began to fray. As globalization accelerated in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, the economic security that had fueled the silent revolution started to erode. Deindustrialization, job losses, and wage stagnation hit many communities hard, particularly in the working and middle classes. For these groups, the promises of globalization, prosperity, opportunity, and growth began to feel increasingly hollow. Inglehart and Norris highlight how these economic insecurities created fertile ground for a backlash against the liberal values of the silent revolution. Many people, especially those who felt left behind by the rapid changes in the economy, began to view these progressive values as a threat rather than a benefit. But the backlash wasn't solely economic. It was also deeply cultural. As progressive values became more dominant, those who adhered to traditional beliefs found themselves increasingly marginalized. Issues like immigration, gender roles, and national identity became flashpoints in a growing cultural divide. This cultural backlash provided the fuel for populist leaders like Donald Trump. By positioning themselves as defenders of the people against a corrupt, out-of-touch elite, these leaders tapped into the deep-seated anxieties of those who felt left behind by the silent revolution. Interestingly, the reversal of the silent revolution wasn't driven solely by those on the right. Inglehart and Norris point out that left-wing political parties have also played a crucial role. Traditionally, Leftist parties were the champions of the working class, advocating for economic equality and social justice. However, as these parties increasingly embraced progressive social issues, such as LGBTQ rights, multiculturalism, and environmentalism, they began to lose touch with their traditional base. This shift in focus left many working-class voters feeling abandoned in a period of globalization, job losses, and income stagnation. The issues that mattered most to them, economic security, job protection, and national identity, were perceived as taking a back seat to the concerns of urban, educated elites. This disconnection created an opening for populist leaders who promised to restore the values and priorities that the left had seemingly forsaken. By co-opting the economic grievances of the working class and blending them with a strong nationalist, anti-elite rhetoric, populist movements were able to draw significant support from former left-wing strongholds. This realignment has dramatically reshaped the political landscape in Western democracies. One of the most concerning aspects of this populist surge is its authoritarian character. Populist leaders often present themselves as the true voice of the people, framing their opponents as enemies of the nation. This narrative allows them to justify actions that undermine democratic institutions, attacking the press, disregarding judicial independence, and eroding the norms of governance. Inglehart and Norris warn that this form of authoritarian populism poses a serious threat to democracy, especially in societies where democratic norms and institutions are already fragile. While established democracies may be more resilient, they are not immune to these pressures. Furthermore, the spread of authoritarian populism has global implications. As more countries fall under the sway of these movements, the international order, built on cooperation, human rights, and democratic values, faces increasing strain. So, where does this leave us? Inglehart and Norris offer a sobering analysis. The rise of populist authoritarianism represents a profound challenge to the liberal democratic order that has dominated the West for decades. Yet they also suggest that this is not an inevitable decline. The silent revolution in reverse is a response to real grievances that need to be addressed if democracy is to endure. To navigate this turbulent period, it's crucial to understand the forces driving this backlash. Economic insecurity, cultural anxiety, and political alienation are all contributing to the rise of populism. By addressing these issues, rebuilding economic security, fostering social cohesion, and renewing trust in democratic institutions, we can begin to counter the appeal of authoritarian populism. But the landscape is changing in ways that extend beyond traditional economic and cultural divides. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence and automation is poised to reshape industries and job markets, potentially displacing even those who have so far been relatively insulated from economic disruption. This new wave of technological change could exacerbate existing insecurities and fuel further discontent. Inglehart and Norris's analysis suggests that if the anxieties caused by these technological shifts are not addressed, the rise of populism could intensify. The challenge for democracies will be to ensure that the benefits of AI and automation are widely shared, and that those who are most vulnerable to these changes are not left behind. Moreover, left-wing parties must reconnect with their traditional bases, balancing their commitment to progressive values with a renewed focus on the economic concerns of the working class. By doing so, they can help bridge the divides that have grown in our societies and restore faith in democratic governance. But they must also anticipate and address the disruptions that AI and automation will bring, ensuring that their policies are forward-looking and inclusive. In this episode, we've explored the insights of Ronald Inglehart and Pippa Norris on the rise of populist authoritarianism. Their analysis provides a crucial lens through which to understand the current political landscape but it also challenges us to think critically about how we can respond. Democracy's future depends on our ability to address the root causes of discontent and to defend the values that have underpinned Western societies for generations. The silent revolution in reverse may be unsettling, but it also offers an opportunity to re-examine our values, to bridge the divides in our societies, and to ensure that the progress of the last century is not lost, but renewed. And as we stand on the brink of the AI revolution, we must ensure that the technological advancements of tomorrow serve to unite rather than divide. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Essentials. Stay with us as we continue to explore the roots of discontent in Western countries, seeking to understand, and perhaps to heal, the fractures in our world.